A very good evening to our sir and our evaluator. Today we're gonna present about our final project, which is pet shop system. And let me introduce myself. My name is Kaliniri, and I'm gonna first present about the introduction. So the introduction, the object-oriented analysis and design is a methodology used in the software building to create more efficient and solid software framework. Applying a OOAD principle to our pet shop system involves analyzing the key objects and their qualities and behaviors. Inside the pet shop domain, by making the class diagrams, you will visually represent and the connection between the objects and the attributes. Two OAD ensure that framework into an object and monitoring their relationship and create a platform that precisely present the real world pet shop domain. And moving on to the next member.
All right, so for the system, I'll be presenting Neil Singh. And yeah, so for the system, we have customer interface, the interface, forum. Forum is where all the customers and staffs can interact, can answer questions based on whatever the customer asks. And then the customer can make grooming reservation, hotel reservation, product purchase, and also leave a feedback on the products that they purchase. So this is the most simplified overall description of the system. Our next slide.
So hello, my name is Nordania Sofia. Here are the functional requirements for the pet shop system. So first of all, it has registration where the users and the admin and the staff can register into the system. It will have product catalog. It will also have ordering where people can order all the products online, do appointment booking online for hotel and grooming. They can have adoption process. And then the performance of the system has to be good. And then the security of the system has to be, and it has an editable description and announcements where admin or staff can edit for their products and services. And then for non-functional requirement, it has scalability, reliability, compatibility, and all the things that you can see here, where it related to the system's process of storing data and giving out the data and all the information needed to for the system. And then usability, it will have a user-friendly interface, has a responsive design, and it have clear product description so people just can easily read it and understand it. It has error handling, intuitive navigation, wish list, and favorites where people can like for the products that they want to like bookmarks. So yeah, moving on.
All right, so back to the class diagram. I will be explaining basically the description of the overall system in the class diagram in much more details. All right, so as can be seen, firstly, as can be seen, the customer can insert details of the pet in the system where then the customer can perform booking in the system, and one customer can only make one booking at a time. As can be seen, the inheritance of booking is where the customer has an option to choose either they want to make an hotel reservation or a grooming reservation. As they can choose the option, then the customer can fill up the required details as shown in the booking, which is inherited to the hotel reservation and grooming reservation based on what the customer chooses. And then basically, other than that, the customer can also make purchases on the product where one customer can make one or many purchases of product. And as can be seen, the product has an inheritance of medicine, accessories, and food, which is the option of purchases. Then the customer can make. Then as soon as the customer chooses their desired orders, simply by inserting the details of the order, and they can only make one they can make one to many orders, and orders can also be handled by admin where if there is a problem that occurs in the system regarding the order, Admin will be able to handle the order manually and assign it to the rider. One admin can handle one or many orders at a time. As soon as customer make the order, after choosing the type of order, either self pickup or delivery, and it is also regarding the type of product, then it will redirect to the payment gateway where one order will be redirected to one payment gateway. And here there is an inheritance concept where here the customer will be able to choose the type of payment they wish to make. In the payment gateway, where there is an option of online banking, QR payment, and credit debit, as soon as the customer make the payment, the system will approve the payment, and from there it will show as the order successful. Then the system will assign a rider where one rider can only accept one order at a time. Those riders that are assigned as specifically working for the pet shop only at their details are all added into the system by the admin, where one admin can add one to many details of the rider. Then the rider will be able to make the delivery to only, the delivery, they can only make only one delivery at a time, where they can make, the customer will be able to receive one or many deliveries, but it will be from different riders. So basically, one rider can only make one delivery at a time, but customer can receive by many riders. And then the customer is also able to add feedback on the product that they have received, and it'll be done or many. It can be none or many feedback. This is because of the customer's choice whether they want to leave a feedback or not. As soon as the customer does that, automatically the system will update the feedback on the product. And here there are many, there may be one or many feedbacks towards the product. On top of that, staff will be able to handle the feedback where one staff can handle one or many feedbacks at a time by removing inappropriate feedback. Besides that, the customer is also able to access the forum, which allows customer to make posts, and here customer can simply ask questions in the forum and can be handled by expertise people such as the staff that are working in the pet shop. Here, one customer has an option to access the forum or none of it, because it's in the choice of the customer whether they want to access the forum or none. Whereas for the customer that goes to the pet shop, here one staff can handle one to many customers in the pet shop. This often happens when it's a self pickup, or probably the customer that goes to the pet shop, they can be handled by the staff here. All right. So besides that, um, okay, cut. Shit. Okay, besides that, in the class diagram, admin is the second important in the system, as one admin can update one to many products in the system, as they can make changes on the food, accessories, and medicine based on the availability of the product. One admin can handle one to many bookings in the system by making sure that the bookings are up to date with the calendar of the system, to make sure accurate availability is shown to the user of the system, which is the customer. Then one admin can handle the forum one or many times. As admin can make and remove inappropriate posts or messages and other things as well in the forum. That's all from me. Moving on.
So here's the package diagram. So as you can see here, the biggest package diagram here is the pet shop system, which is the whole package diagram. And then it has applied nested package, where all the other packages are nested inside the pet shop system package. And then here, for first of all, it has booking package, where inside it we put the hotel reservation package with its inheritance small classes like small room, medium room, large room, and then we have the grooming reservation. And then we, for the next package, the customer package, we put the pet package inside the customer sense applied nested package. So it is easy because it is related for customer and pet. And then for the order package, which is here, yeah, can access the product package. payment gateway, and the delivery packages. And then the payment gateway can access the order package. Where is it? Here. It can access the order package. And then payment, sorry. It can access the jap, jap eh. The payment gateway can access the order package as the details of the amount is calculated in the order package. And then the delivery package, which is right here, can access the order package and packages from the customer, order rider admin, and can access the delivery package. And then the admin package, where is it here? It can access for all of the package in the pet shop system. And lastly, the staff package can access the booking package as the staffs will manage the booking details of the customer. So that is all from me. Allah. Next.
Okay, I'm gonna explain about the component diagram. So the component diagram is a software component within the system that is represented by the organization and dependencies. So there are two components mainly, which is persistence and security. First up is the persistence, which is refers to a storage and retrieval of the data within the system. They can handle tasks such as data access, data manipulation, and database connectivity, and the components connect to the database or storage systems that can provide the necessary interfaces for other components to access the storage data. So the second component is the security component in the component diagram, which is deal with protecting the system from the unauthorized access and data breach and other security threats. These components handles tasks such as authentication, authorization, encryption, and secure the communication. As you can see in the diagram, every classes are connected to the resistance and the security. Therefore, they are can be accessed by the admin, which is the access, data manipulation, and database connectivity. So the next step is deployment diagram. So the deployment diagram is a software engineering, is a visual representation of physical deployment of the software components within the system. Like it's like deploying into the software in the servers, in the computers, or in the devices. So the purpose to illustrate this system architecture and provide a high-level view of the software components interact with the hardware, which is the TCP/IP and ISP and HTTPS. The first step is the TCP/IP, which is a set protocol for transmitting and receiving data over the internet. It is the fundamental protocol suite used for the communication between the devices on the internet. So this next step is the ISP. So ISP is a company or organization that provides the individual businesses with the internet access. So they are responsible for routing the data between the different networks, and they also provide the necessary infrastructure for the internet connectivity. And the HTTPS is a extension of the HTTP protocol to use the secure communication over the internet, and it has an encryption and authentication mechanism for the secure data transfer for our pet shop system. And it prevents unauthorized access that protects sensitive information like passwords, credit card details, and our payment gateway interception and tampering. And that's all for me. Moving on to next member.
All right, hi, my name is K. Nair. I'll be explaining about the use case diagram for customer. So the use case diagram for a customer and the pet shop system illustrates the various interactions and the functionalities available to the customer within the system. The customer as the primary actor can perform several use cases. These including logging into the system to access personalized features, browsing and searching for products or services offered by the pet shop, adding items to their cart for purchase and managing their cart and making payments, making reservation for grooming or pet hotel services, accessing their user profile to update information, and contacting customer support for assistance. The use case diagram provides a high-level overview of the functionalities and interaction between the customer and the pet shop system, capturing the core action and features that facilitate a seamless customer experience. Next. All right, so the next one will be a use case diagram for grooming. The use case diagram for grooming and the pet shop system outlines the various interaction and functionalities related to grooming services. The diagram showcases the actors involved, such as the customer and the admin, as well as the action they can perform. The customer can request grooming services, view available grooming options, schedule appointments, and receive grooming confirmation. The use case diagram provides a visual representation of the key steps and interaction involved in the grooming process, ensuring effective communication between the customer and the pet shop system. Next. Next will be the use case diagram for product. The use case diagram for products and the pet shop system illustrate the interaction and the functionalities related to the product management within the system. The diagram showcases actor involved, such as customer, as well as the action they can perform. The customer can browse and search for products, view product detail, add product to the cart, and make purchases. The use case diagram provides an overview of the key functionalities and interaction between the customer and the pet shop system in terms of product management, ensuring a seamless experience for a customer in exploring and purchasing pet-related products. Next. Okay, for the hotel, the use case diagram for pet hotel reservation and the pet shop despite the interaction and functionalities related to reserving a pet stay at the pet hotel. The diagram includes the actors involved, such as customer and the admin, and the action they can perform. The customer can initiate the reservation process, check availability, provide pet detail, select the check-in and check-out dates, and receive reservation confirmation. The admin can handle reservation requests, check availability, manage reservation, and update the reservation status. The use case diagram provides a visual representation of the key steps and interaction involved in the pet hotel reservation process. Moving on to the next member.
So my name is Muhammad Rifki, and I'll be continue to explain about the use case diagram for payment. So this use case diagram illustrates the interactions and functionalities related to the payment process within the system. So this diagram showcases the actors involved, which is the customer and the payment gateway, as well as the actions they can perform. The customer can initiate the payment process by selecting the desired items or services, entering payment details, and submitting the payment request. The payment gateway verifies the payment information, processes the transaction, and communicates the payment status back to the system. The pet shop system handles the payment request, generates an invoice, and updates the order status upon successful payment confirmation. So moving on to the next diagram. So the next diagram is for refund. So this use case diagram for refund and the pet shop system outlines the interactions and functionalities related to the refund process within the system. The diagram depicts the actors involved, such as the customer and the admin, along with the actions they can perform. The customer can initiate a refund request, providing necessary details such as the reason for the refund and supporting documentation. The admin, in turn, validates the refund request, processes the refund, and updates the payment status. The use case diagram provides a visual representation of the key steps and interaction involved in the refund process, ensuring effective communication and seamless resolution of refund requests between the customer service representative, and the pet shop system. Next diagram. So for the next use case diagram is for feedback. This use case diagram for feedback and the pet shop system illustrates the interactions and functionalities related to the customer feedback within the system. Diagram showcase the actors involved, which is the customer and the admin, as well as the actions they can perform. The customer can provide feedback or reviews on the products or services offered by the pet shop system, submit ratings, and write comments. The admin can handle the feedback, review, and respond to the customer inquiries and take necessary actions to address any concerns or issues raised. Next diagram. So this is the use case diagram for forum, and the pet shop system represent the interactions and functionalities related to the forum feature within the system. So this diagram showcase actors involved such as the customer and the admin along with the actions they can perform. Customer can make a new post, insert picture or video and publish their post. So they can also comment on posts and edit posts within the forum. The admin, on the other hand, has additional privileges, which is managing the forum. So the use case diagram provides a visual representation of the key interactions and functionalities within the forum. So next one is the sequence diagram for login. The login sequence diagram outlines the process of a customer logging into the system. Initially, the customer clicks the login or sign up button, which triggers the system to represent the login or registration form. After entering the required details, the system validates the information and grants access if valid. The customer then has the option to update their personal and pet details, which the system facilitates through relevant forms. Once the updates are made, the system verifies the data and subsequently displays the confirmed customer and pet details. So next diagram. So for the next sequence diagram is for services. The services sequence diagram illustrates the steps involved when a customer selects between grooming or reservation. No. This one is the payment diagram. The payment sequence diagram illustrates the process of a customer making a payment. Initially, the customer selects their preferred payment method such as online banking, credit or debit card, or they pay using QR code. After that, the customer confirms the payment details for accuracy. The system then generates a payment receipt containing transaction information and displays it to the customer. This confirms the successful completion of the payment process. The payment sequence diagram provides a concise overview of the interactions between the customer and the system during the payment procedure, encompassing the selection of payment method, confirmation of details, and the display of the payment receipt. Next. The next communication diagram.
Alright, so I'll be explaining about the communication diagram for login between the customer and the system. So in the communication diagram for login between a customer and the pet shop system, the process begins when the customer sends a login request to the system, providing their username and the password. The pet shop system receives the login request and verifies the provided credential. If the credentials are valid, the system sends a login confirmation message to the customer indicating a successful login. As a result, the customer gains access to the pet shop system, features, and functionalities. On the other hand, if the credentials are invalid, the system sends an error message to the customer indicating a failed login attempt. The communication diagram illustrates the interaction and information exchange between the customer and the pet shop system during the login process. Next. For the next one, it will be communication diagram for choosing services. In the communication diagram for choosing services between a customer and the pet shop system, the process begins when the customer sends a request to the system to choose services for their pet. The request typically includes information such as the type of service required, such as grooming, purchase product, and or pet hotel reservation. The pet shop system receives the service request and provides the customer with a list of available service and their corresponding details. The customer then selects the desired service by sending their choices back to the system. The pet shop system acknowledges the service selection and confirms their choice to the customer. This confirmation message may include additional information such as the appointment date and the time, or any special instruction related to the chosen services. The communication diagram represents the interaction and information exchange between the customer and the pet shop system. Next. Right, next for the payment. In the communication diagram for payment between a customer and the pet shop system, the process begins when the customer initiates a payment request with the system. The customer typically provides information such as a total amount to be paid and the preferred payment method. The pet shop system receives the payment request and interacts with the chosen payment gateway or processes to facilitate the payment transaction. This may involve redirecting the customer to a secure payment page or communicating with external payment APIs. Once the payment is processed successfully, the payment gateway sends a payment confirmation message to the pet shop system. The system then generates a payment confirmation response, which is sent back to the customer. This confirmation message may include details such as the transaction ID, payment date, and a summary of the purchase item or the services. The communication diagram describes the flow of information and interaction between the customer and the pet shop system. Next would be the activity diagram. So the first one would be the login diagram. The activity diagram for the login process between a customer and the pet shop system outline the steps involved in logging in. It begins with the customer entering their credentials, which then validated by the system. If the credentials are valid, then the customer is granted access to the system, leading to a successful login. From there, the customer can engage in various activities within the pet shop system, such as browsing products, placing order, or choosing their services provided. On the other hand, if the credentials are invalid, an error message will be displayed indicating a failed login attempt. The activity diagram provides a concise overview of the login process, capturing the sequence flow of actions and decision points between the customer and the pet shop system. Next would be the grooming. The activity diagram for grooming between a customer and the pet shop system outlines the sequence of actions involved in the grooming process. It starts with the customer expressing their interest in grooming for their pet and proceeds with the selection of specific grooming services from their opinions provided by the pet shop system. After selecting the service, the customer schedules an appointment by choosing a suitable date and a time. This step may involve checking the availability of groomers and selecting an open slot. Once the appointment is scheduled, the customer brings their pet to the pet shop system at the designated time. The groomer then carries out the requested grooming service, which may include activities such as washing, trimming, or styling the pet's fur. The grooming process concludes when the groomer completes the service and returns the pet to the customer. This activity diagram provides a visual representation of the grooming process. Next would be for the purchase. The activity diagram for purchasing a product between a customer and the pet shop system illustrate the flow of actions involved in the process. It starts with the customer browsing through the available products, either by exploring the catalog or using search functionality to find the specific item. After identifying a desired product, the customer selects it for purchase. This selection may involve specifying the quantity or variant of the product if applicable. Once the product is selected, the customer proceeds to the checkout process. In the checkout phase, the customer provides the necessary details such as shipping address and the payment method. The pet shop system verifies the information provided and processes the payment. Upon successful payment, the system generates an order confirmation which is communicated to the customer. The activity diagram represents the flow of the actions from product selection to order confirmation, capturing the interaction between the customer and the pet shop system. Next, the last activity diagram, which is hotel reservation. The activity diagram for pet hotel reservation between a customer and the pet shop system illustrate the sequence of actions involved in booking pet stay at the pet hotel. It starts when the customer initiates the reservation process, indicating their intention to reserve a space for their pet. The customer then provides detail of their pet, including the type of pet, breed, size, and any specific requirement or special instruction. Next, the customer selects the desired check-in and check-out dates for their pet's stay at the hotel. The pet shop system checks the availability of room or spaces for the specified dates. If availability is confirmed, the customer proceeds to provide the contact information and any additional details required for the reservation. Once all the necessary information is provided, the pet shop system generates a reservation confirmation, including the booking detail and any instruction for drop-off and pickup procedures. The activity diagram represents the flow of action between the customer and the pet shop system. That's all from me. Thank you. Moving on to the next person.
So now I'll be explaining about the state machine diagram. For the first diagram is the login diagram. So the login state machine diagram represents the various states and transitions involved in the login process. It begins with the login or sign up phase, where the customers can either log into their account or create a new account by sign up for a new account. From there, the customer moves to the customer details state, where they can update their personal information. After that, they proceed to the pet details state to add information about their pets. Finally, the process moves to the confirm details state, where the customer reviews and confirms all the entered information. If the customer decides to cancel the process, the state machine transition directly to the final state. The next one is the service state machine diagram. The service state machine diagram depicts the states and transitions involved in the service selection process. It begins with the choosing service phase, where the customer selects the type of service they require. From there, they move to the input customer and pet detail state, where they provide the necessary information related to the service and their pets. After that, they proceed to the confirm details and make payment state, where they review and confirm the entered information before making the payment. If the customer decides to cancel the process, the state machine transitions directly to the final state. So the last one, payment state machine diagram. The payment state machine diagram illustrates the states and transitions involved in the payment process. It begins with the display amount state, where the system presents the customer with the amount they need to pay. From there, the customer moves to the choose payment method state, where they select their preferred payment method, which can be online banking, credit or debit card, or QR code. After that, they proceed to the confirm details and make payment state, where they review and confirm the payment details before initiating the payment. If the customer decides to cancel the process, the state machine transitions directly to the final state. So that is all from me. Thank you. Next.
Before we finish it off, we're gonna show our GUI interface. This is our GUI for our system, which is a home page. Home page. We have a admin page. We have a staff page, and we have a product page for our products and toys and so on lah. So lastly is the conclusion. So for the conclusion, and object-oriented analysis and design provides a structured and a systematic approach to creating a software frameworks, and OAD allows for a creation of modular, extendable, and maintainable frameworks. OAD encourages an understanding of the system design and behavior, empowering viable communication between the partners and the developers. So by following a OAD principle and effective pet shop system that meets a desire from the users, whereas a permitting for the future and scalability and the improvement. And that's all from us.